Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, and welcome to the Groupchat Wrestling Podcast, where we dive into the wild world of wrestling, the only sport where threatening a child can make you the most beloved face in the business. Join us as we unravel the mysteries of wrestling storylines, analyze jaw-dropping matches, and speculate wildly on who's going to turn heel next. Get ready for a ringside seat to the excitement and absurdity of wrestling with us every week.
Hi guys, welcome to episode 10 of the Groupchat Wrestling Podcast. I'm your main host Mike GWP on Twitter. I'm going to let the boys introduce themselves.
I'm Andy Ric Flair. I have Twitter, but I can't be fucked with it, so I'm not going to tell you. And I'm currently drinking a Coca-Cola Zero Oreo flavoured drink, which is it's an acquired taste.
Yeah. Right here, on Twitter, that bald bro, kind of pissed off right now. Fucking Giants and Mets just love just hurting me on an emotional level. That's just love to bring me up to the mountaintop and just drop me on my fucking bald head. So if I'm a little angry and a little snippy this episode, you know why.
And I can contrast that because I'm in a fucking great mood. I'm wrestling Martin. Arsenal beat Spurs today. So I am full of fucking beans, and I'm going to be getting drunker as the episode goes on because, well, Arsenal beat Spurs. Nothing else needs to be said. So I'll be bringing the light and cheerfulness today, while other people might be a little bit more pissed off with their team's results this weekend.
Yeah.
Son is the biggest myth in football. I'm getting that out there, by the way. Son
Who
being
is?
a nice guy is the biggest fucking myth in football.
Mate. I've watched him live and in person enough times to know that guy is not a nice person. He's very, very cynical. He just has a very innocent-looking face. He's not a nice person. I'm 100% with you on that.
Justice for Gomez. But anyway, back to wrestling. Figured we'd start this week. I thought we'd have a little rundown of what the WrestleDream card's gonna look like now that we're a couple of weeks out. Get ahead of the curve. What are we thinking for WrestleDream?
Well, I mean, the main event is Moxley in it. Let's be honest. It's gonna be good. That's gonna be the main event. I don't see there being. I don't know if anyone's got any conflictions with that.
No, I think you're on the money there.
I can't see how it could be anything else but that. Now, I mean, it's worthy of potentially ending Danielson's full-time career. It will be something. It'll be, again, having a main event when you legitimately don't know who's going to win is a real art. And again, doesn't matter what wrestling company it is. I think it's so hard to go in there. Like if you look back at I don't think there's ever been say a WrestleMania main event, apart from when they decided to have Lesnar beat Reigns for no reason. Every other main event, and obviously Reigns Cody the first time, every other one is pretty much a formality because it's the closing of certain chapters, opening of new ones. It makes sense. And AEW has started to get a knack of having these unpredictable main events. I don't think MJF, Joe, people thought Joe were going to win. I don't think people put money on that. The triple threat match, I think people thought Swerve were going to win. Joe won at Revolution. Swerve Danielson was definitely, again, I think more people thought Swerve was going to win. And again, a Danielson v Moxley one, people were going to assume certain things, but I wouldn't go into it and place any money on it.
Yeah, same. But on that, what's your favorite, your most, least predictable pay-per-view main event you've ever watched? Because I know what mine is.
Is it AEW?
Well, any you can choose any.
No, but I'm saying it's yours, AEW.
No, it's not.
WWE.
Yeah.
WrestleMania 6.
No. The Undisputed Championship. The first Undisputed Champion. Yeah. No one, but there's no way on earth I thought he was winning that.
No.
Not with Stone Cold Steve Austin, The Rock.
And Triple H, wasn't it? Weren't Triple H the other one?
Yeah, it was, yeah. The mad one.
I think it was a Triple H and one of the worst one was a Triple H and Booker T. Especially how that feud built up with just all the racism in that shit, and then for Booker T to take that pedigree and then
4 minutes later,
4 minute crawling over to Booker T and to eat the pin. That's got to be the worst pin in wrestling history.
Well, yeah, you couldn't really put Triple H in any main events that you thought were unpredictable.
No,
You pretty much
no,
knew
it's
what was
true.
happening anyway, didn't you? Yeah.
I wasn't watching at that time, but I'm assuming it was a foregone to everyone. Booker T's going to get the big win here.
I mean, you would think, like I said, I mean, damn, all the bullshit that Booker T's enduring, and there's, like I said, just all the racism. Like, Triple H has got to get his comeuppance, right? But nope.
But racists don't see it as being something that's worthy of a comeuppance. That's the genuine sad part of it. They don't see it as a comeuppance. They just see it as superiority reigning supreme.
Yeah, John Terry never got his comeuppance.
No, exactly. Yeah, for real. Yeah.
He kept the captaincy. That's basically Triple H.
Yeah. Grim times. Anyway, we've digressed.
Yeah.
So yeah, we think that's the main event. If I'll drop in one more match that I think is going to happen, and then obviously then other people can. I think the women's title match will be Mariah v Mina. I don't know if that seems to be the general consensus. I assume that's what they're going to do.
It has to be. I don't know. I mean, I don't know what else they can go with really at this point.
Yeah, that makes the most logical sense. Right now, I think with Mina imminently coming in, I think that's the program to go with right there. In a sense, like with Mina coming back into the fold, I look at it as this is like Act 2 of the. I look at it as Act 2 of the Tony Storm Mariah May storyline. In a sense, like if you think that story is over, no, you're absolutely wrong. Like Tony is away for a good reason, but now with Mina coming back, now you're gonna learn more about Mariah May's stardom days, how she got her start, and the history between herself and Mina. I'm pretty sure Mina's gonna come back. She's gonna be partly disgusted and upset with Mariah's actions. From turning on Tony, we saw her reactions at All In, so obviously they were teasing that and they were setting that up. So this is your bridge arc right here in the story, which will eventually lead to Act 3. Like if you've been paying attention, we know where Toni Storm is at right now. She's been in Australia. Exactly, she's been promoting the Grand Slam show that they're going to do in Australia in February. But if anyone knows Toni, that's where I believe the arena where they're having a Grand Slam at is not too far from where she first started learning to become a professional wrestler. So
that's cool.
I look at Act 3 as a way of Toni Storm. She's going to go back to her roots in a sense.
Yes,
she's gonna drop the timeless gimmick, and you're gonna get that bare bones, like kind of Stardom-esque, like back to basics Toni Storm for that rematch with Mariah May. And I say don't write it off as that being your main event for the Grand Slam show in February.
I don't think she's going to drop the gimmick, but I do agree with everything else you said there. I think she's going to be, move wise and style wise, going to go back to basics, and maybe she'll use the gimmick to this is a new part that she's playing. She's playing the old Toni Storm, but I mean, look, she's in Japan next, isn't she? She's challenged the what's her name, the Stardom champion, hasn't she? She said. She put a promo out there the other day. She wants to go back there. She wants to show them all who she is, and that ties into what you just said there. She's been back to her roots, Australia. Next, she's in Japan. Maybe next she heads to the UK. Who knows? And she could be retreading her footsteps. You never know. She might turn up at Global Wars. That could be a good one. Rev Pro, she'd do a bit of time in UK and then back to America to beat the shit out of Mariah May.
I mean, I think that Mina will be on Dynamite this week, and I think that Mariah will beat the shit out of her as well.
I'm not sure if she'll beat the shit out of this week, but I think they might drag it on a couple of weeks. But she's going to at some point, isn't she? Mariah's past having friends now. She's now in the stage of I don't give a fuck who you are.
Yeah,
I think they save that for New York City at Grand Slam, like the actual like her just destroying Mina.
Probably.
Yeah. Like she'll be on this week's episode of Dynamite. I don't have a problem with that, but I think the actual like physical like
that makes more sense. Yeah,
her turning on Mina, like tease it this upcoming Wednesday, but then you actually kind of get the payoff on at Arthur Ashe.
Maybe they team up, or maybe Mina's in a match. After the match there's a post-match beatdown. Maybe she loses or she makes a mistake or something, and Mariah just goes fucking nuts. set it off that way. Probably going to smash it over the head with a bottle of champagne or something like that.
Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, but it'll be brutal and it'll be good fun. Yeah, you're right. Grand Slam's a week after next, isn't it? It's not long now.
No, it's come so quick. And they've done a good job with this kind of, because it's clearly been a reset, hasn't it? Because a reset to the build, and like they've done a good job with like doing it all in 2 weeks. I mean, within a week there, we've got a pretty solid looking card already, at least for Dynamite. And they did it.
It looks like I'm actually sorry. I'm just having a look at it now. I'll be very quick. It looks like ticket sales have started to pick up. Looking at it now compared to 10 days ago,
they had to do something.
Yeah,
it
was a shit show.
I mean, like for Grand Slam, you got to treat it like a pay-per-view. You should have your card out there,
Yeah,
a good few weeks at least before, and ideally earlier. And people didn't know what they were going to see, so you can't blame people for not buying tickets.
When the prices are so extortionate at first. Brett, have you got a ticket yet?
I'm waiting for the prices to drop, honestly.
Yeah,
I don't fucking blame you.
70% of the crowd will do that because they will fill the entire bottom tier with, well, it's kind of like 3 tiers looking at it, isn't it, really? They'll have the bottom tier and the middle tier full up 100%. Hopefully they open up some of the top tier. I still think they can get to last season's figure of like 10, 11,000 if they do this right, because people are going to do what you're doing, Brett. And a lot of people are going to do that because it makes sense to, because why wouldn't you? Forbidden Door next year, I'm not buying tickets on the day of that show because
100%.
I've done it this year, paid over the odds.
And if they do a Dynamite and Collision again next year, which they should do, I ain't buying tickets day one again. No fucking chance.
No. I'm
going to wait till the last week.
I'll keep an eye on the map and I'll keep an eye. And if it looks like if it's 80% full, I'll probably buy it when it gets to about that level because I don't want to risk it. But if it stays at like 60%, which it realistically will, then I'll wait till the day of and get like a good seat for 20, 30 quid, because why wouldn't you?
Well, 100%. I mean, like as as we spoke about before, I had tickets. Cost me 140 quid each up in the top. I mean, the Cardiff show was, there's no bad seat there anyway, but I had tickets quite high up, and I ended up getting tickets four rows out for the same price. So I'm not buying them day one again. Fuck that.
No, absolutely not. Not until they sort their prices out and go back to their 2020, 2021 prices.
It's fucking
until
stupid,
they actually are feasible. Anyway,
like just think they sit there and they're like, oh, wonder why tickets aren't selling. What could possibly be different between now and when it was like 25% of the price we're currently charging?
The worst thing is that I think it's very much they know that. Like, I mean, I think that again. I think they would probably, if they had good price from day one, I do think the prices they would sell more. But I think they're very much, and it's not good, but they're like, right, we know that the most expensive 3 or 4 sections will mainly sell out pretty easily at these heavy prices, then we can drop them later on, because they know they're going to have an 800 to say 1,500 core audience that will pay extortionate prices on the day it goes on sale to get those tickets. And then they know they can't drop them immediately, but they know if they leave it right to before the event, they're going to drop them.
Yeah, but there's quite a lot of people have said, haven't they, that basically the even though the ticket numbers are a lot less than they were 4 years ago, they're making more money.
Yeah, which is fucked. Yeah. And like, look, again, I get that it's a business, but again, it is a visual, and I do think that there is a knock-on effect. Again, I want to get back to what we're talking about, but I'll be very quick here. I do think there's a knock-on effect, because when you see a poorly lit up arena, when you see, that they can't cut to certain angles, when you know that the volume's not going to be as appealing, it might put people off watching it, thinking, this sounds a bit flat, even when the product itself is, in my opinion, really good. But I do think there is a knock-on effect with people with a perception issue, making people not want to watch things as hot. Because if you don't think something's hot, you're not as inclined, if you're more of a fair weather fan, to actually like tune in and watch.
Especially when you get fuckers like Dave Meltzer telling you it's cold.
Yeah,
every fucking day while he reviews women's matches as low as he possibly can.
Yeah.
Anyway, so what else we got on this card? Anyway,
Yeah, someone else take over now. I've thrown 2 matches out there. What else do we think we're going to get?
I think we're obviously going to get Bucks, hopefully losing the titles at WrestleDream. I don't know who against though. Could be anyone. I mean, maybe the Outrunners. Are we going to ride that wave?
I would love that. I mean, look, I'm behind it completely. Like, that's it. They've got a month. Give the Outrunners 3 or 4 notable wins. They can go out. They can beat the grizzled young veterans. They can beat the fucking Acclaim. They can beat 1 or 2. They can beat some established teams. The FTR can be by their side the whole time to even the numbers against the Elite if it comes down to that. So you've got FTR and the Elite again, and those four. I mean, I know that Okada's going to be in other feuds, and obviously Perry will be, but like they can be there for the numbers. They can have their moment, and then it can be brutally taken away the next week on Dynamite by the FTR, who turn on them, beat the living fuck out of them, and beat them for the tag titles at Full Gear.
I like that. That's it. That's a great plan. Make that, just strike while the iron's hot.
Yeah,
and
then see where the Outrunners are after that, because that means their popularity is going to increase at the moment. They are going to have a period of every week they're going to become more and more popular because it's still new to a lot of people. They're very funny. The music's good, the look's good, and once we see a couple of matches and you're like, hang about, they can actually fucking go in the ring as well. They're going to, and that's the thing. When people see, oh, actually these guys are good, then you're going to be at the point that their popularity will increase tenfold. Then it's like, okay, there's a really festival gimmick here, a really like light-hearted, bantery one, which AEW don't do that often, and they actually can put on like a really like entertaining match. This is the time to strike while the iron's hot. Do not let them drop off. Keep them on TV every single week and give them a couple of notable wins. Build them up. Maybe they beat a Private Party next week. Then the week after that, they're beating a Grizzled Young Veterans. Then the week after that, they're beating whoever else it is in line. Maybe they beat FTR. Maybe that's the number one contender. We don't need the number one contender match with FTR in. But yeah, build them up. WrestleDream feels like their moment. FTR turn in the following week. Full Gear, FTR are heel tag team champions, which suits them better, in my opinion.
I would love that. We'll be riding that wave on our fucking jet skis with the Outrunners. Let's go,
mate. But the first time I saw the Outrunners, I'm like, okay, these guys are for me. Like, again, I've said it probably on this podcast. I said it on Twitter, and like, again, both of them actually like the tweet, so I know they get what I'm talking about. I said, if Will Ferrell and John C. Reilly, who in the mid-noughties were the peak of comedy for me, and well, not that John C. Reilly's Anchorman, but your Anchormans, your Talladega Nights, your Step Brothers, that was like the peak of comedy for me. If John C. Reilly and Will Ferrell had made a film about wrestling in 2006, they would have been the Outrunners.
Oh, absolutely.
Yes, definitely.
Did you see me the screenshots of me message there before? I found it from because I was thinking, well, when was it I first seen the Outrunners? And I sent one of my mates a message back to February 2023 when they were on Dark, and I was like, mate, you need to check these out. The brilliance. The gimmick is so bad, but it's brilliant.
Yeah,
and it's just like it is. They're fucking brilliant,
mate. Honestly, like people. I think people sometimes think I'm joking. I'm like, no, these guys are fucking. I love this. Like, I'm not. This is not me being ironic in saying this. I fucking love them. The minute I saw them, I thought, okay, I want to see this lot progress. They can get just looking at them, just the way they were. Especially when I watched them on RJ's thing on AEW.
Yeah.
These guys are legit funny. These guys have got something. Again, longevity wise, that's another question for another day. But in this very moment, for autumn 2024, this is their moment now. And who knows what happens after that? Like, they could turn heel and be this deluded, arrogant, dickhead tag team that worked brilliantly. I don't care about that. I'm talking about right now. I'm talking about what we've got coming up in the next 6 to 10, 12 weeks. This is a moment for them to really like generate a lot of goodwill and to do a lot of fun things with that with the pair of them.
Totally agree.
100%.
And I will fight people that disagree. I will physically fight people that disagree with that.
Have you seen all the cry ass in the last couple of days about comedy wrestling? We don't want any meme. Meme wrestling is fucking disrespectful as fuck. Yeah. Comedy wrestling has been there forever. It always has. Do you not think The Rock was a comedy wrestler?
For real.
He was fucking non-stop fucking cracking jokes and catchphrases, playing guitar in the ring, and his finishing move was a fucking elbow drop where he just did like a funny little dance beforehand.
Rusev and Aiden English shtick was the best thing in WWE for about 6 months or 3 to 4 months maybe. That was pure comedy. It was delivered perfectly. The thing is, were there any good Rusev matches in that time? Absolutely not. No. They are a very rare thing to find a good mirror Rusev. They do exist, of course. They're not the norm, though. They're not his higher level entertaining matches. They're not the norm for him. But I wanted to see him more than most people on Raw most weeks. Or he was on Raw every week. It was brilliant.
I'll give you another act that I thought was over like kind of a comedy bit. Remember Heath Slater 2016? He's got kids.
Mate, personally, yeah. I've got kids. When he was coming back, he was unemployed. He didn't get drafted. It was a couple of months. The stuff with Rhino, honestly, they nailed that. It was really, again, it wasn't going to go on for 4 or 5 years, but it was that moment. It was gold. And sometimes that's what it is. Sometimes it is for a couple of months, and you capitalize on that, and it's great for what it is.
Oh, hey, he got a segment with Brock out of it. He's like, I don't give a shit about your kids. Like, I mean, hey, that's gonna be with him forever. But hey, he got his moment, and it was crazy. Correct me if I'm wrong. They were the inaugural SmackDown Tag Champions, both him and Rhino.
Him and Rhino were, yeah.
Yeah, so they're part of history in a sense back in the draft of 2016. So
And it was great.
you got that.
It was great. SmackDown was actually quite good back then. 2016 SmackDown was actually, that's when I got back into it. It was actually very entertaining. It was a strong roster. And mate, it was such a good feel good moment. It was very fun. It was very heartwarming when they won as well. It was, again, you've got to capture these moments because they don't come along very often. And the Outrunners have got that. I'm hoping it's long term. I really do. But for the moment, the next couple of months, they should be strapped up and something big should happen with them.
I like to say, you got to strike while the iron's hot. And another team, look, I know we need to get these teams shown and they need to be in front of the crowd and the crowd gets to know they are because that reflects in the TV ratings. But the Outrunners are already over with the crowd. So that's fucking one down. Yeah. So the TV ratings, that'll only come if you put them on TV constantly and the audience starts to understand who they are. And the other one who I would throw this at, who I didn't think I would because I didn't think I'd like them, is MXM. I think they've been fucking brilliant.
They've been great as well, yeah.
Like everything they're doing at the moment, I'm like, it's stuff that I'm thinking, I should hate this, but it's funny as fuck.
The first time I saw Manister, because Manister was obviously just very, because it's WWE and racism, wheeled out for the Saudi pay-per-views, and that's the only time you really saw him. And the first time I saw him speak, I'm like, oh, this guy's got a shitload of personality. Like this guy has so much charisma, and I've never heard him speak because why would you let someone like him speak when you can just have him go and beat someone in Saudi Arabia once every 6 months? Mate, as soon as I saw him, like, right, this guy is being fucking wasted doing nothing. There is so, it was the same with Ali as well. The first time I heard him talk, I'm like, right, this guy's got charisma, but again, his melanin levels mean that Vince is gonna see you doing one thing and one thing only.
It was. Did you see the interview? The segment the other day when he was talking about the House of Black, and he's talking about Buddy Matthews. He says no super hot woman would ever be interested in a guy like Buddy Matthews. It's just fucking brilliant.
Quality. Anyway, right, again, back to WrestleDream. So we've got 3 matches now. We're not doing a Triple H card. There's more than 5 fucking matches. So what else do we think?
MXM the Acclaimed.
Yeah, MXM and the Acclaimed.
On the main card?
Yeah.
Fair enough.
The bit seems to be building too.
Yeah. I'm going to throw a curveball in here. I think we're going to get a TNT Championship match. Jack Perry against a guy who came back on Dynamite after a bit of long hiatus. Oh, I'm very excited is back. Yo, give me just a 15, 18-minute banger between Jack Perry and Sammy Guevara.
I'd take that, I like that.
Listen, Jack Perry obviously wins, but you know what? Listen, I've said in the chat before, I've said numerous times on Twitter and other spaces, like, the hate that Sammy Guevara gets, I think, is just for over the top fucking ridiculous and unwarranted. It's mostly because, oh no, he left his ex and now he's with Ty Conti. I'm like, what the fuck does their personal relationship have to do with you and your enjoyment of him as a wrestler? It's just fucking weird. But listen, he had a great match with Ricochet this past Wednesday. It was crazy hey, he went toe-to-toe with Ricochet. The crowd, I think, was very receptive to him. And, he's in a different space and, in this point in time in his career. He's a father now, so maybe, I understand little problems he had here in the past, maybe backstage stuff, a little attitude here and there, but I think he's grown. I think he's matured a little bit. The man is still a hooper, and I say you kind of continue that momentum in the sense that, you can have 2 pillars go at it. They have history right there. And it's a harmless match, TNT Open Challenge. Obviously Perry goes over, but I think, you get another good showing from Guevara. I think will help him a long way down the road.
I like that. Yeah, I'm with you on that, Brett. I think he's very harshly treated by people. It's another situation where people just pile on a fucking wrestler because of some shit they've heard on the internet and don't actually know, whether there's any truth to any of it. The thing he had with Eddie actually said that was more down to him, to be honest. He said he was acting a bit of a dick in the way he responded. So I agree. I think he's a great wrestler. I think I think that'd be a cracking match, though.
Yeah, and the Andrade stuff. I mean, come on, let's look back at it. I mean, Andrade was clearly trying to get fired.
Andrade wanted to be sacked. Let's be honest. Let's not.
100%.
I've no like that. It is what it is. Like, I'm not going to sit here and go. I don't care. Like, I never really cared massively for him anyway. So I'm not going to sit here and slag him off or defend him or anything like that. But yeah, he wanted to go, so be it. And yeah, it'd be interesting because the thing is, Sammy's really got this reputation now, whether it's right or wrong. He's going to find it very, very hard to ever remove this stigma from him while he's in AEW, in my opinion. I'm not saying that's right because I don't think it is, but I'm saying that's how I perceive it with him. It's going to take something remarkable for him to lose like the way he's perceived.
Probably. It is unfair, but you're probably right there. It's a shame because if you remember when he was the TNT champ, he had some cracking matches on that one.
Yeah, mate, he always has good matches. That's the thing. The only bad match I can remember having was we had one with Ricky Starks. I think it was at Daly's place, and it was a bad match. And that's the only time I can remember having a bad match.
Yeah, do you remember the cutter on Cody off the ladders? That was fucking brilliant. That.
Oh, there's so many good matches.
I think that's the problem. Yeah, his matches are like not his matches per se, but while he's been a heel, he's got a babyface's moveset, and it just doesn't fit, or it hasn't fit. Do you know what I mean? Being a heel and doing sick ladder spots and stuff like that.
Yeah,
like,
you're right. That's true.
I get you there. Yeah.
I like Sammy. I'll be honest. I'm not as high on Sammy as you seem to be. But I think that's his moveset screams babyface.
Yeah.
But his attitude screams heel.
Yeah, for real. I couldn't agree with you more there, bro.
And I think that's the disconnect. And like as Brett touched on there, you know, with him having a kid, maybe maturing more now that he's a father, you might sort of see that sort of balance out a bit more. And I'll be interested to see what happens with Sammy over the next like 6 months to a year.
Yeah,
I think he'll end up being okay though.
I think you're right there. Yeah. What about the trios? We're going to get a trios match, are we?
Jesus, who the hell are champions? I've forgotten.
The
Blackpool Combat Club.
Yeah.
Oh, what the hell? Yeah, that's what I've forgotten because it's taken a back step in their own story, isn't it? So,
do you think they lose the belts or somehow have them taken off them or whatever before then, or do you think that's when they're gonna, whatever happens with Utah is gonna happen, whether it's them beating the shit out of him after they lose, or whether it's him walking out, or them walking out and leaving him, or what?
It's a tricky one, like because I don't know. It's something I hope they touch on sooner rather than later. I don't want this to be something that goes on forever with us actually like questioning what's actually going to happen now, because it feels that they're all like, especially with Moxley, like it feels that it's not going to be the priority for them at the moment. Trio titles.
Yeah, well, we've got like 4 weeks, is it, or something like that? 4 weeks today. Maybe?
Yeah.
Or yesterday. Anyway, 4 weeks, and we have to work out, or they have to work out how they're going to get the belts off them and sort out whatever this Utah story is. Because I don't know if you guys seen on Collision, Utah's match. It's really good what they're doing, where he's clearly can't concentrate properly because of what's happened, and he's not himself. Like he was missing spots that he doesn't miss.
Oh, okay, I like that. It's
so well done the way they're doing it. Like Utah's really conflicted. So they're either going to go one way where he says "fuck you" and he turns on Brian, and we all cry, or he's going to back Brian up, and he's going to, Brian's going to have at least one ally, hopefully more to come, because I'm assuming this is going to be, we're going to get, a battle between the two factions at some point.
I mean, that's what we've got to lead to, haven't we? I don't think there'll be a trios match at WrestleDream. I think that the other there's 2 other matches I think that are shoo-ins, and I don't think it includes anyone. I mean, I don't know. Who knows? The trio stuff should get sorted soon. I think we get Okada against Takeshita, and I think we get Ospreay against Ricochet.
Yeah, Sorry, Matt. I was just going to agree with that. I think we get Ospreay versus one of Takeshita and Ricochet. I don't know whether we get the Okada one yet, but we'll get one.
Because it's called WrestleDream, I just feel that's the kind of match thing. I think Okada wins, and I think, as you said before, I think that Takeshita will get his win back by winning the C2 in December.
Yeah, I didn't think about that actually. WrestleDream fits for a big two Japanese guys going at it match.
Especially because Okada didn't have his big moment. He hasn't had his long, huge match yet, really. Well, not for a couple of months after the Pac one. After not having that all out or all in, I kind of feel that this could be the time when it explodes, and him and Takeshita give him half an hour and let it just be good shit.
Honestly, I cut back on the ring time for their first match. If their first match is going to be a WrestleDream with Okada and Takeshita, I feel like if you do a half hour, you might give away too much, in a sense, for the eventual rematch of the C2 final that should come down between those two. I mean, don't get me wrong, they'll still have a great match, but I say, go a good 18, 20 minutes, and then, you build the next 2 months from there for the Continental final.
Will it not be a 20-minute time limit?
Yeah.
That's the C2 rules, in it? Or so you would imagine. I mean, that's what they did. Okada against Claudio, didn't they? 20-minute time limit draw. So maybe they draw, or maybe Okada takes the win here, and then Takeshita goes on.
That's my.
What about this? Tell me what you think. So we get the Okada Takeshita match at WrestleDream. I would have either for my idea, Okada needs to win. But I would have it somehow. You go one of two ways: either it's directly Don Callis' fault that Takeshita loses, or you can have Don Callis get pissed off that Takeshita lost, and Takeshita leaves the Don Callis family. He's like, fuck them, there's a beat down, whatever. And then the C2 story is then about Takeshita climbing that mountain on his own to get back to Okada, being like, I don't need Don Callis, I am Takeshita without Don Callis. And then that's the story leading into World's End at the end of the year, where he then beats Okada for the Continental title. Yeah,
I like the idea of for the first match, I don't want a clean finish for the first match. Like if Takeshita's gonna lose that first match, it can't be a clean finish. I would like Callis to be the reason why Takeshita loses the match. Like I say, there's gonna be a point in the match where at the end they're both down, and Callis is gonna toss in the screwdriver, something like that he's done for the past for Ospreay and for Kyle as well. But I think, Takeshita, he'll pause, he'll think about it, he'll refuse. But in that distraction, I think that's where Okada will capitalize and win the match. And then, boom, you start the turn from Okada and Takeshita. And then, like you said, he's going to the Continental Classic, climbing that mountain on his own.
Sounds good to me.
I like that, but I don't think it happens. I don't think he leaves Callis. I think he still wins it. I don't see him leaving the Callis family, to be honest. I think he stays as Callis's number one menacing bastard. And
I feel like they're teasing. They teased it this past Wednesday, like when when Callis went to Ospreay to team with Fletcher in the Gauntlet, and Takeshita looking like, what the fuck? I'm right here. Why didn't you pick me? The small little breadcrumbs right there, I think, will eventually lead to them separating.
I think it would be better, but I just don't see it. Mainly because, I don't. What's Takeshita's English like? I can't even remember now. But he's had Callis speak for him for so long, and I think he looks menacing as fuck when he's just stood there in his his black gear with Callis talking, and he just stares straight into the camera. I don't know. I feel like a Callis-led Takeshita winning the title as a menacing heel bastard would be great. But I can't even remember whether his English is any good, to be honest, and whether he'd stand alone. I can't, it's been that long, hasn't it, since, did he even speak? I can't remember. I remember him having a bit of a back with MJF. Sorry?
I remember he tweeted when he first came over the most random tweets.
Yeah, fucking brilliant.
So good. And I think it was genuinely coming from a place of just purity. I don't even think it was meant to be funny.
Yeah, like him getting his first car, him going to Cinnabon. Well, apparently he loves Cinnabon.
Cinnabon was amazing. Cinnabon that was amazing.
Mm-hmm.
He's great anyway. Regardless of what happens, he has to. This has to be the time now to get behind him and strap the rocket to him. Whether it is as a face who's tin on Callis, or whether it's as Callis is number one in his heel fat. He needs to have it strapped.
Yeah.
Here's a way to look at it right now. You have both MJF and Swerve on hiatuses right now. So those are two main guys off the top of your card right now for the foreseeable future. So you have Mox come back in a way he takes he takes one slot in that, and you have another space and you have another opportunity available right there. And there's no reason why that other spot should not be occupied by Takeshita right now for the immediate future at least.
As we said before, the card is so top heavy though, because like, Jay White's going to be back soon as well, and like surely it's got to be the time when they get a bit more substance behind him. Okada, is he just going to forever just be the continental champion calling people bitch? They've got to do something more with him at some point.
Yeah.
Even if I like him calling people bitch, and like and Kenny's going to be back at some point soon, hopefully. So it's it's a good, like with a footy team, it's a good problem to have. But
yeah,
I wouldn't fancy being the booker myself, to be honest.
No.
Yeah, because anyone with a brain would know that easily Tony Khan has the hardest booking job in the entire industry with that roster. Like, how do you choose who's going to take the pin that day, who to push and who not to push? Yeah,
I mean, look at the other place, right? You've literally got two choices of who's going to be your champion, because like no one as good as some of them lads are and the other one around that main event scene. There's no Cody or Roman in terms of the kind of I'd hate the whole aura thing, but there isn't. And like, so there's no one that I love Drew McIntyre, but there's no one that matches that Cody and Roman spot.
No.
Whereas over in AEW at the moment, you could like pick maybe 6, 7, 8 people.
100%.
Put it this way: if God forbid, in a freak accident, like both Cody and Roman were to go out with injuries, they would be absolutely fucked in the sense of like star power and main event power, because it's like, who else on SmackDown? You have no other main eventers. Like,
whoa! What about Solo?
Get the fuck out of here.
He's fucking awful, isn't he? That's like that. That'd be like Tony sticking fucking Ricky Starks as the fucking champion and running with him. And actually,
that'd be like putting Evil Uno as the damn champion and running with it. Yeah.
Evil Uno, at least he can fucking wrestle.
Remember the cracking match he had with John Moxley when he beat the shit out of him? That was a great one. That.
Yeah.
Oh, when he had the mask torn, right, and bleeding.
Yeah. Oh man, it was awesome.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, we had some great matches, haven't we, over the years? So anyway, what else are we having on this card? Because we're going off on one again here. Anything else? Women's match. We've had one. We need another one. Who are we going with for Mercedes? Is it time for Willow?
An interesting one.
Is it time for Willow to take the title back?
Not yet. No, not yet. Listen, Mercedes, I think for the point of like story and just like, I give her a mega run with that title, and they already teased it with the All In announcement for Texas next year. I am not even joking when I say keep the belt on Mercedes till that All In Texas show next year. You have Mercedes and Athena right there.
Yeah, I'm down for that.
Yeah.
I wouldn't disagree with that at all. I think WBD must be loving this as well, because she takes that fucking belt everywhere. She's on the red carpet. She's doing fucking presses. She's got that TBS title around the fucking neck, and the other one. She takes the two. They must be loving that, because that's she's basically pushing TBS wherever she goes, even if the belt does look like it says hose from a distance, but it does say TBS.
Like, this belt's for the hose.
I'd give it to Statlander, me.
She's a heel, isn't she? You can't do it.
That's the thing, though. Like with a lot of top contenders, like Statlander, like Statlander's a heel. You only like face wrestlers right now who you could put in like maybe a rematch with Willow. Sheeta just lost. Deeb's not up there yet. Thunder Rosa's out with a concussion. So yeah, the
Honor. But she's more of a heel.
She's a heel also.
Yeah.
The reason,
that's a tough one, isn't it?
The reason why I say Statlander, is, and again, tell me what you think of this. I think with Stokely being as funny as he is, I think you can swing at that role with her and Statlander quite easily, with a heel as big as Mercedes. But I also I think Mercedes' run needs that Statlander match, as we've said a few times on this podcast now. every woman in AEW's best matches with Chris Statlander.
Yeah.
And I think Mercedes needs that rub just to kind of shut up the people who've been like, oh, everyone's trash. Fucking this, that, the other. She's
them
not
both.
good, this, that, and the other. I think she needs the Statlander match. Because, you give them 15, 20 minutes, they're going to have a banger match. It's going to be sick. Do you know what I mean? Mercedes can win. You can do bullshit with Camille, you can do what you want. The interaction between Camille and Stokely, I think, would be quite funny.
Oh yeah, that would be fucking good.
Should be towering over
That's
Stokely.
what-
Fucking hell, yeah.
That's what I mean, yeah. So like, you just do that. You just get it, for lack of a better term, get it out the way. You know what I mean? And then you go, there you go, you fucking macking bastard. There's a good match. Shut the fuck up. In fact, what I'll do is, because it fits in, long-time fan of the podcast, Rich McMullen, asked us, do you think we're going to get a match out of Brian and Nigel, or is there going to be something amiss? I.e., Brian's unable to compete, banged up that Nigel makes it a squash. What do we think's going to happen? And I put that question in there because I think it ties into what we're all going to say.
Yeah, I think we get a match. I think we get a match.
Yeah, same.
I think Brian's fucked, but I think he makes the match. I think he beats Nigel, and I think there's almost a slight show of respect afterwards. I'm not sure whether Nigel's got plans to carry on wrestling after this, or whether he's literally just wants to get this match out or what. But I think Brian beats him just, and I think he's in a bad way to kind of explain how the world champion and the best wrestler on the planet can be taken to the brink by someone who's not wrestled for so long.
And he just runs with that for a year on commentary if he doesn't wrestle anymore.
Yeah. He's brilliant on commentary. I don't ever want him to stop doing that, but
Yeah, I agree.
But I still think my idea of him helping Brian at some point is going to come to fruition. I still think it's going to happen. I think it's going to be look, we've had this match, all right, this is all I wanted, you beat me. And I think he's going to be, I think it's going to look like he's going to, what I think's going to happen, right, at the end of the match, he wins, he's fucked, he's on his ass. Maybe he fucking gets in with a roll up or something and Brian's still got a bit more left. Nigel. I think Nigel's going to be fucked. He's going to be pissed off. The Blackpool Combat Club are going to come to the ring, going to go to beat him. It's going to look like Brian's going to join in or step aside, and I think Brian's going to fucking lamp one of the fucking, maybe Claudio or somebody, and start like actually defend him. That's where it's mainly because it's just what I want to happen. But like, whatever, I'm going to will it into existence.
That's it. Listen, and I actually agree. I think something similar is going to happen. I think it's going to be a case of I think maybe instead of the BCC in that situation, I think it might be the patriarchy.
Could be that. That's a good one. Yeah. He hates him so much that he loves him. That's what it is at the end of the day.
Yeah.
I'll add in like not just Nigel maybe helping him, but still the numbers are too much. Dude, how about just a full-on Ring of Honor, reunion with the returning Samoa Joe coming back to help out Nigel and Bryan Danielson?
Yes, I would love that.
Dude,
that's like happy.
Give what a way to end like a Grand Slam, like if that is the main event, Danielson and McGuinness, Blackpool Combat Club comes out to finish the job. Nigel's walking up the ramp like he's about to leave. But nah, he comes back, helps out. Numbers still too great, and then boom, Samoa Joe's music hits. He's done recording Twisted Metal 2, Sweet Tooth running to the ring for the save, and then boom, you have like 3 of the Ring of Honor like originals in a sense, closing out the show in New York City, mind you. Like I think that would be a great visual to end, and yeah, I would like if they go that direction.
Like no one's going to get what I'm going to say here because like I'm older than everyone else. But the visual I get is there was a He-Man Christmas special when I was a kid, and Skeletor ended up helping these kids, and they were like, "Oh, Skeletor, you're such a nice guy," and he's like, "No, I'm evil." And then he had this look on his face, and he goes, "I hate being nice." And I want Nigel to be like that. I want him to begrudgingly help Bryan Danielson and then just carry on slagging him after that. Like he helped him, but he didn't like helping him. He just felt like, he had to help him.
The right thing to do. Yeah, no, I agree. I think that's the way to go. What I will just throw in here, dead quick, just because I missed it before. Well, an idea for a match at Grand Slam. What if we have Yuta versus Claudio with a stipulation of, like, I don't know, if Claudio wins, Yuta has to join Moxley. If Yuta wins, he can make another decision.
I think they have a one-on-one match at WrestleDream because I think that match could be a real big like making of Wheeler Yuta again. I actually think that's a match for WrestleDream. I think Grand Slam being 2 hours with we're going to have something with the women's. We've got McGuinness, Danielson. We've got what's the other big match we've got? Derby Moxley.
Yeah.
I don't think and the tag titles. I don't think there's any more room for anything. I think it's just going to be a 4-match card.
Well, we've got the Collision taping as well. Sorry, Rampage taping even.
It's Collision. They're doing Collision. They're doing Rampage on Wednesday and Saturday next week, so they're ahead with that. But you've got you got Hook. So you've got Moxley, Darby, Danielson, McGuinness, Bucks, Ospreay, Fletcher, Hook, Strong. They'll have a women's match in there as well. I don't think the Dynamite card anyway. I don't think that gets anything else into it.
Yeah, I agree. I think that's pretty solid. Maybe a few angles, but that's about it. Like.
Yeah.
And I think the women's match at Grand Slam is going to be Jamie Hayter and Saraya.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Get that one done.
Yeah.
Get it done out of the way.
Get it done, and then maybe Jamie Mercedes could be WrestleDream. It's a bit early for me, but
that's the thing. Like, I want it. The thing is, pull the trigger on matches. Like look how quickly they went with Danielson and Ospreay. Like sometimes don't wait. You never know when someone's going to get injured. The only thing is, then it feels like it's not the right time for either of them to lose. That's the thing.
Agreed. But so like you say, she's just come back from a bad injury. Was it almost 2 years out? Was it 18 months or something like that? Maybe she's like, look, just let me go. Let me do it. Get this fucking done, while I can. Like, you never know what.
Let her fly, man. Let the peacock fly.
She can always have a rematch. 6 months down the line.
Was that another guy's reference there, Brett?
Yes. Other guys' reference, and I don't care. People look at me sideways when I say that is the best. That is my favorite Will Ferrell movie of all time. Other guys.
It's my wife's favorite one of his as well. It's so good. When Rock and Samuel L. Jackson jump off the building, it's just pure gold, man. So good.
Aim for the bushes.
It's so good. Such a good film. So
good. Just finding out that Will Ferrell's a pimp in college, like that was a Gator.
The way he is with Eva Mendes is just amazing as well. I love that film.
He's like my normal. He's like my normal average wife. I'm like, bitch, your fucking wife is Eva Mendes. What the fuck?
Anyway, sorry. Where were we?
I got a little topic I want to add.
Go ahead, then, Brett. Yeah.
So I know this is gonna be a rarity. This is a little history right here in group chat. We're gonna talk a little WWE. We gotta talk about the ending of SmackDown.
What the fuck happened on SmackDown?
We gotta talk about the Mega Powers 2.0 and Cody Rhodes and Roman Reigns teaming up in the age-old question in professional wrestling: can they coexist? And to the question I asked, why the fuck would they want to coexist? Like, Cody, you started the fucking show saying, I'm done with the bloodline. I'm done with it. Just to come back at the end of the fucking show as Roman's signing the contract, I guess, for the tag team match at Bad Blood. And Cody with the why can't Cody do anything natural? Can I ask you guys and anyone listening? Why can't he
fucking
talk?
heel?
Why can't he talk natural? Why can't he do anything natural? Like, instead of reaching out for the contract like a normal person, no, I gotta do the slow overhand and then reach out with my hand like, yeah.
That's why he's such a success in WWE, isn't it? Because of that overdramatic, that at the time when he fell down on the ramp, it was one of them that time he fell down holding his stomach on the ramp, and I think it was during the Brock feud, and it was it was one of the worst things I'd ever seen. It was so bad. But you look at what WWE want in their main guy. None of them are ever remotely realistic. From Hogan to even The Rock, like so like over the top, like no one behaves like that. To John Cena, who no one can pander and like lick corporate balls the way that he did. They always want that over the top, unrealistic. This is not a real person kind of guy at the top of the company, and that's why he works in WWE.
You had the match right there between Roman and Solo for Bad Blood.
But that match was so bad.
I know it's gonna be bad, and trust me, I would have loved to see how bad it was on the big stage. That would have been great. But in terms of storyline, that's the match to make, because Solo is saying, "I'm the new tribal chief," even though I've never been a fan of it from the fucking beginning. Because you say losing has consequences. The SmackDown after Mania, when motherfucker you lost 4 months straight after you beat Cena last year in November, and now Roman loses after 4.5 years of dominance in the WWE, and now you think you're the next in charge? What fucking sense does that make? I never believed in it. It made no fucking sense to believe in it. I don't fucking get it. But whatever, that's where they are. So that's the tag match, and yeah, like I don't know why the fuck in a common sense, my common sense mind of thinking, why the fuck Cody wants to help Roman out, like, yeesh. Fucking lazy booking. That's what it is lazy booking. Because guess what? It just proves a point that Cody with the Universal title, he's not the fucking main event. It has been, and always will be Roman and the Bloodline. That's why they're attaching Cody to Roman.
That's it. Like, you use the word common sense there. Common sense and WWE booking does not go hand in hand.
No, silly me.
Yeah, but Vince is gone. Isn't it supposed to all be great now?
Load of shit. Like, people go on, like, drones go on about how good WWE storytelling is. It's one story. It's the Bloodline. There's nothing else, really. That's good. Everything else is just, like, shit to average.
Nah, hold on. That's not true. There is another story. It's fucking Rhea and Liv fighting who can make the best chicken tenders for Dom. That's the other fucking story. Like goddamn fucking Dom, like just a walking example of Stockholm syndrome, like being abused by one woman, then going to another fucking abuser. Like 2 years since he turned heel, and he's been in the same fucking story in a sense for 2 fucking years. But yeah,
well, look, it gets some fucking, it gets the media off the real issue, doesn't it? When someone searches for anything to do with that case, it's coming up with this storyline. I honestly wouldn't be surprised if fucking Dom shits on someone's head next.
Fucking hell.
yes.
Well, it works. That's what they're doing.
No. While we're talking about this, what's the worst fan base? Is it Rhea fans or is it Liv fans?
It's neither. It's Hangman fans.
Whoa. Yeah.
Oh.
No, I love Hangman, but fuck me, the amount of them who decided to start this narrative that MGF was shite and always has been because he was in an angle above Hangman, and then the amount that started to say Bryan Danielson shouldn't be in the main event because of Hangman, the amount that are still fucking slagging off Jeff Jarrett daily because they don't want him going anywhere near Hangman. Fucking, I love Hangman, but he's part of the main story. He should go through everyone. Yeah. So that's my thing anyway. They're the worst.
That does make sense now. Yeah, I mean, hey, listen, Jeff Jarrett in 2024 has been quite the revelation.
He has. I'm loving it. Give me one more match with Hangman and have Hangman beat the living shit out of him.
Yeah.
Just one more. That's all I want. One more match. Give Jeff Jarrett this. One more fucking, time where the crowd are getting behind him and give me. He deserves it. One more. Look, the fella fucking, he deserves that after fucking partnering with Ric Flair for that stupid last match. That's probably still scarred his fucking brain. Anyway, what about the kind of house show thing that Tony's done today at the Jags? Should be doing more of that.
Yeah, do more of that, like you said. Capitalise on the outside media, the outside attention, fun stuff like that.
Your PR's shite. You own an NFL team. Fucking do something with it.
For real.
Literally, that is the mission statement right there. The PR shite. You own a football team. Fucking use it.
And in the most random match in the history of wrestling, hologram Sammy Guevara beat Matt Taven and Mortis in a 2 out of 3 falls match. Because why the fuck not?
It wasn't random. Matt Taven gave us the explanation.
I was going to say, literally, what to say. Did you see that?
Frank Mertos, attorney at law. He got him out of prison. We need an animated TV series about this. We need an animated show like the old Harvey Birdman attorney at law, but it's Frank Mertos and it's Beast Mertos just being a lawyer and just getting someone out of some shit every week.
Oh god, I need that show on Adult Swim right now.
Exactly. How good would that be, man? Fucking hell. Got fucking FTR. Look, we got a problem. Gun charges. What can we do? Okay, nice one, man. Let's go.
Making a shit episode of Rick and Morty. Rick and Morty and Frank Mortis.
Is that even his name? Frank? Where the fuck has he got that from today? Frank Mertos.
I don't know, but that's what I'm going with. Mark, you need to track it down. Go on Matt Taven's Twitter. It's only 3 minutes. It's fucking funny as fuck.
It's very good. The build for that match, you need to have a look at it. It's very good.
Fair enough. I've been humbled.
Fair play to Matt Taven for coming up with that, however he come up with that story today just to kind of stop people from whinging.
What are you talking about? It's a true story.
Oh, no. Well, yeah, of course it is. I forgot about that. What about should we talk about the overreaction to Dynamite? Where people suddenly thought it was a 1 out of 10 because they didn't like the ending.
It's going to be a banger match. Who's really that arse? Like the tag team division, as we've said a few weeks on this podcast, is in a bit of a lull at the minute. People are saying, "Oh, why would you do the gauntlet match and show how weak the division is?" I thought it was actually a good starting point for rehabbing the division, just getting teams out there. Like, have a look.
I agree. I thought it showcased a lot more strength and depth than I thought they had, and I thought it was the right choice for the winners because there's a storyline there, and unfortunately, outside of FTR and the Acclaimed, the other tag teams are not at the stage where they're going to draw you. I think throwing them in Grand Slam would have been suicide for some of them. And plus, like I say, we have the story to come from this. It's going to be a great match. They've tagged before, I say it's going to be a story. Hopefully, it leads to the Callis family stuff and Mark Davis coming back, which I'll be happy if that's the case. And then we can plan what we said earlier. We're all going to get in our jet skis and ride that fucking wave with the Outrunners taking the titles at WrestleDream. And look, at the end of the day, it gave us the best 57 seconds of tag team wrestling that we've seen in a long time. From that moment when the Outrunners turned up and just fucking cleaned house with fucking synchronized fucking body slams, and it was fucking brilliant.
It's great. It was so fun.
I love the 80s style, like back to back, fighting action that they did. That was like 80s style, like buddy cop stuff right there.
Oh, it was so good. And
they were on this week's Dynamite. They need to be on Dynamite again this week. They've got to keep going with them.
But they've got to be after the end of Collision, where they're basically, making the save for FTR. They have to be. And plus, the gauntlet gave us a lot. It's shown us, like I say, it's shown us how strong the depth is. It set a few other things off. I mean, I don't know if you guys seen Action Andretti and Leo Rush have been having a little bit of tension showing there. Action Andretti not happy because they're not winning. Leo Rush telling him to calm down. I'd like to see a match between them two.
It'd be a good match. Yeah.
I'd forgotten that the Righteous are actually quite good, and I'd like to see
really
more
like
of them.
The Righteous, man. I've always really liked them.
We had the MXM Acclaimed stuff kicking off in there. We had the Grizzled Young Vets taking out FTR, or FTR chasing after them. So there was quite a few. There's quite a bit that came out of it that we could move forward with and try and rejuvenate the tag team division, really. So I actually thought it was good. I thought it was a good show. Apparently I'm in the minority according to fucking Twitter.
Dynamite was a solid. It was a good show. It was above average. It was very good. People just didn't like the people. No, it wasn't a 10. No, definitely not. It was a 7.5 out of 10 by their standards.
That's why I put it as 7/8. It was in between there somewhere.
It's a good show. It just people were whipped up, myself included, all these potential debuts or returns in the match, and it didn't happen, and so that automatically feels flat when that happens.
But the other angle that people seem to be pissed off at, the other segment that people seem, the way people are, a 10-second thing can turn something into a 1 out of 10 for some people. Oh, well,
yeah.
And the one was the Orange Cassidy fucking tipping the coins over Jericho's car. I did think it looked a bit shit, to be honest, the angle. Yeah. And I thought that was a bit of an anticlimax because I thought, should have been a bit more than that. But then someone on Twitter suggested that in about 3 weeks, Jericho was going to fucking be sat in his car and he's going to feel down the side and find a coin. He's going to go, fucking Orange Cassidy. And I thought, actually, that would make me laugh. But apart from that, it was great. It's a good show. Great matches.
All the promos,
Ricochet was great.
Ricochet Sammy was great. There was one other really good match as well. I can't remember what it was. Perry Rush was really good. That was a really entertaining match, I thought. All the promos hit the spot really, really well. Well, most of them did. The mock stuff was gripping throughout. I love that. McGuinness in the ring was really good. It was a very good show. But again, they put themselves on a pedestal for the consistency of their shows now. That if there's 15 parts to a show, and if 13 are good and 2 are bad, Twitter's going to feed off the 2 that aren't good. So they again. Whereas with other companies, they can do a show where there's 15 bits, 14 are either actively bad or not memorable, but there's one good bit, and then that'll just be the one bit that gets highlighted.
Yeah, and like I moaned about the tapings for Collision because it did look shit on paper, and it actually was a really good show. So I'd recommend it if you haven't seen it yet.
I still haven't seen it because again,
hell of a lot better.
Work, but I'm going to watch that. I've managed to avoid any significant spoilers apart from basically. So I can watch that with my feet up and enjoy it at some point in the next couple of days before Dynamite.
Yeah, it's better. It's a lot better than it looked, to be honed, because I was.
It often is so. They do that quite a lot with Collision. Like you look at it and think I don't think it was a bad card. I just thought staying up till 3 a.m. on a Saturday to Sunday, like it's just not enough for me to want to do that. To literally ruin my entire Sunday morning, especially with work. But even if I wasn't working, again, staying up till 3 a.m. It's not staying up till 3. It's staying up till 3:30, 4:45. Then I'm waking up at stupid o'clock on a Sunday, and I'm like, nah. Like it wasn't a card that kept me for that. Like Dynamite every week, I feel that I don't care. Like I'll happily just sit there and crack on working on 5 hours sleep and just get on with it.
Yeah, I think it's more because it's taped as well. That always puts me off.
Taped,
to be honest, but like whatever, it was good.
It's always low expectation when a show's taped in there. Let's be honest.
A quick one. So, like TNA fans seem to be getting quite hyped and overexcited. I know we spoke about this before, Brett, but what do you think? Should we tell them all to shut the fuck up, or should we just watch TNA die?
No, I mean,
just let the kids have fun. Let the kids have fun. I mean, listen, they want to live in a state of delusion. Thinking that they're the number 2 promotion in the world. That's fine. It's harmless fun. When they come,
that's why I go back.
No, I was gonna say, when they come crashing down to reality, no one will be there to catch them.
I feel that I've said my part on Twitter, and I don't want to piss off their 12 fans any more than I already have. So I will keep it quite limited to what I say about it. But it's just a weird thing to obsess with. If you feel obviously maybe you just want a bit of attention, but you can't have a couple hundred people through your gates for 99% of your shows and have one good gate and then start bragging about it at the expense of a company that are still getting those kind of your good gates are their bad gates, but they just choose bigger arenas for the aesthetics of being on TV. It's just weird. It's just wrestling fans, and like I'm culpable of it as well. It's just people being dickheads, but it's just really weird to make such if they believe it as well. It's just kind of sad because someone said earlier, but Raw gets 1.4 million and Dynamite gets 700,000 and TNA gets 100,000. So there's only 600,000 between them, and there's 700,000 between Raw and Dynamite. I'm like, yeah, but that's not how you do it. You look at it and say that Raw gets twice as many viewers as Dynamite, and you look at it as Dynamite gets 7 times as many viewers as TNA. That's the way it's done. There's no comparison. WWE are the main company in wrestling. AEW are a reasonably distant second. New Japan are a significantly distant third. You'd even put NXT and Ring of Honor as separate brands, being markedly bigger than TNA. If I'm being perfectly honest, it's just like just things just keep going, man. Just like you don't have to worry about other people because they're not worried about you. It's just a bit of an odd thing to start swinging at when you have like one moment of positivity, or because you're getting love bombed by NXT.
Well, it's a good job that they, at the thought of being a development territory for NXT, that they started swinging the dicks, because Tommy Dreamer is probably still associated with TNA and he defends people who swing the dicks. So, it's quite handy for them, really, isn't it?
Yeah.
TNA, I've decided now, TNA are the Newcastle fans of the wrestling world. It's the relevant cunt.
Why have they taken us astray? I mean, I couldn't care less than them. Why have they taken astray from you?
Newcastle.
Yeah.
Always. Fuck Newcastle, man. Hate them.
Well, the thing is now, Mike, when we look on the podcast statistics, all the Saudi listeners are going to be giving us 1 star now after what you've just said.
I know. Okay, now there goes the Saudi audience.
Yeah, they'll all be watching them WWE shows now.
Fucking hell. Sorry, boys. Oh, well. Original group chat member Aaron Cole says, do we think the title should be split in AEW? I'm going to answer this in one word. Nope.
No.
Yeah.
I'll show the respect of giving a bit more of an answer because he's a top boy and I don't want it to be as sharp as that. I don't think it should happen simply because there's not a brand split. I think it's just not. It does feel there's too many people going for one title, but at the same time that adds to it. It's a bit different to WWE when you couldn't name the next 3 champions that seem worthy unless you're going back to people that have already had it. I'm happy with the way things are. I think the best thing to do is to make other titles feel more significant.
I agree. I think if you were to split the titles, it would be, some of the titles would feel like they were weird. They'd be like, the WWE Second Championship, where it's basically fuck all, it's a B title. Some of them would feel like that because they'll only be on Collision and Rampage, which get less views. So I think splitting them's a bad idea.
Last question as far as Twitter is concerned is from friend of the podcast, Sferrel Toast. He says, hi guys. Hi. Sferrel. Celebrities on wrestling shows can be hit or miss. Do we have a favourite celebrity appearance? And don't forget, you cannot kill David Arquette.
It's a great documentary, that. If anyone's not seen it, it's very good. I have one. Do you want me to go first?
Yeah, go for it.
RoboCop.
Yeah.
That was my favourite celebrity appearance when he turned up. Sting was locked in the cage by the Horseman, and RoboCop just walked into the arena. And RoboCop walks into the arena and just like, and Bert Cornette was involved in this as well, which is funny when he complains about the Leatherface appearance. But yeah, RoboCop walks into the arena and bends the bars on the cage and rips the door off, freeing Sting. It was great. When I was 10.
Stephen Amell for me. Arrow. Thought he did really well in both of his 2 matches.
Yeah.
Clearly has a lot of respect for the business. What a guy.
Stephen Amell.
I feel the same way about celebrities in wrestling as I do science fiction and Marvel films. I don't give a fuck about them. I don't like them. They suspend my sense of realism too much. And if they never happened again, for everything I mentioned before, I would be a happier person. So there has never been a time that I enjoyed Shaq going through a table. I would still rather Shaq have not been there. I don't like them. I don't mind Snoop being there when he's high as fuck and he doesn't know where he is. He's just having fun. But at the same time, I'd rather not see them. I don't like it. Just leave celebrities one place. Let WWE have Flow Rider rapping at WrestleMania rapping in quotation marks. Let them have that. I'm going to get Flow Rider into every single podcast now. Let them do that. I don't like it. It's not for me. It's just something I don't really enjoy.
Can I throw a more recent one in there as well?
Yeah.
Rick Ross when he was on AEW.
Oh no, Rick Ross was great.
Just
What was it
because
he
of the
kept
way
saying?
he turned to Keith Lee and he's like, "You're a big motherfucker."
You're a big motherfucker. No, but he said he kept saying this word backstage as well. He kept repeating himself.
False accusations.
Yes.
False accusations.
Oh man, that was great, Rick Ross.
No, you know what? It was good. It was. I was like, oh, how I knowing what I know of him. I'm like, I can't see how he's going to come across well here. And he was fucking brilliant. He was really, really good. That
Keith
was good.
Lee's face as well.
I'm humbled. I'm going back on what I've said. I like Rick Ross.
Keith Lee's look when he turns to the camera, he's like making the gesture across his neck. He's like, "Whoa, what the fuck?" You know?
It was Keith Lee's face as well when he's like, "You're a big motherfucker," and he just look at Keith Lee. He's like, "Ah, fuck."
Can
You're not
imagine
going to say that, bro.
Can imagine Tony's face in the back hearing that.
Tony's face in the back would have been a lot different to Tony's face when they got backstage and Rick Ross spoke to him as well. Oh yeah, that was great.
Yeah.
That was great.
Just to be fair, special mention to Bad Bunny, specifically his entrance at Backlash last year. One of the craziest entrances I've ever seen, ever heard. In Puerto Rico.
The guy put in the effort as well. Like his matches were like they weren't good for a celebrity kind of thing. They were good. They were entertaining matches. I give him credit. He's a big name. You know, this guy sells records. This guy's got a big following. And he was going out there, and you're like, this guy's really putting the effort here to do this, and he did not have to do it. This is obviously done because he likes wrestling. And so I did have a lot of respect for what he did there. But again, at the same time, I'd rather see a wrestler in there.
100%.
Should we move on to the Discord questions? Because some of these are quite good. There's a couple from last week. If you want me to read them off.
Go
the
for
first
it.
one was from Professor Slick on Discord, mate. And you'll like this one. We should have started with this. This could have took an hour. I feel like people think Ricky Starks is better than what he actually is. That's it. It's not a question. That's just what he says.
It's just a statement. You know what? I am really mindful of staying slightly clear on this subject. But it's something that I do have an opinion on. It's a tricky one. I was never a massive fan of him at all. And so I didn't dislike him. He was kind of how I am with Sammy Guevara, how I was with Andrade, how I was with maybe Aleister Black. I'm not saying you're not talented at all, but when you're on screen, there's other people that I would just simply rather see on screen.
I think he is. I think people do think he's better than he is. Very simple. He's all right. You know, I'm sure he'll get his moments in NXT. He may even be the champ, you know, just as a fuck you moment. But he's had his chances with big names in AEW, and like, look, for whatever people think about Jericho, he had a feud with him. He had a feud with Adam Copeland. He had a feud with MJF. If you have a feud with those three guys and you still don't come off any better, I'm sorry, but the problem's got to be with you.
Yeah, I agree. Again, he's someone that, again, like Cody, I think that like even like Ricochet suits AEW more than he suits WWE. Danielson, Swerve, they suit AEW more than they suit WWE. Certain people like Cody, like Starks, I'll say Miro as well. Certain people suit WWE more than they suit AEW. And I think that Starks is someone who could go into NXT. Look, he's not a spring chicken, you know, he's 35, 36. He's not an MJF prodigy kind of thing or a Daniel Garcia. Yeah. Look, he can go there. He can knock it out of the park. I think his promos are very hit and miss. It's funny. I was looking back through WhatsApp to one of my mates who stays clear of Twitter, who was biggest wrestling fan I've known. Watched wrestling since he was 4. Never stopped. Got a kid now, so he can't. He'd be on Twitter like me if he weren't for the fact he's got a child. And he's actually had to grow up. And we were saying, like, there were times like back in 2022, we're talking about Starks, and he was saying, he's like, I really like this dude, but he's like, his promos are so shit most of the time. He doesn't make sense a lot of the time. He waffles on with conviction, but he's not actually saying anything that makes sense. And I kind of know what he means there. He says stuff in the right tone and with the right delivery, but he's not actually saying much. And his match styles, he's a good wrestler. He's a good wrestler. But AEW is full of good wrestlers and people that are better than good.
Yep.
He'll do very well over there.
And good luck to him. Like, I want him to do well over there. Like, I don't dislike Ricky Starks at all. But like, if someone says to me along the lines of who do you want to keep, Daniel Garcia or Ricky Starks, it's a no-brainer. I'd be actively. I'm actively disappointed the Lucha Bros have left because I thought they were really, really good. I would be actively disappointed if Daniel Garcia left because he's really, really good. I was not disappointed at all when Cody left, and I wouldn't be as Starks did. And that's not to say it's not they're really, really good. I just didn't really resonate with them, or they didn't resonate with me. More importantly,
he's a bit of a bell end, isn't he? Though, going on Twitter and trying to fucking undermine your colleagues and employer. It's just a bit of a fucking dick move, isn't it?
That's 21-year-old behaviour from a guy in his mid-30s. So
yeah. What about you, Brett? What's your thoughts on Starks?
I'm over at this point. I'm just waiting for him to make his NXT debut, form a tag team with Lexus King. You know, like, I guess
the fella whose beard's shaved into the shape of a ball sack.
Bro, he has a goddamn. You remember the toy? The Etch-a-Sketch? You know, he used to. He has a fucking Etch-a-Sketch beard, man. Like, come on, what the fuck is that? That is ridiculous.
He looks like he's been at a party with his mates and he fell asleep and they've gone, quick, get that marker, let's draw a fucking ball sack on his chin and we'll just colour it in so it looks like a beard.
It's just wild that he got that done on purpose, though. He went into a barbershop or maybe someone does it backstage or whatever. Like, he did that on purpose.
Fucking grim, innit?
Is it that he does that because he's not getting any TV time, so he has to do something to get like any sort of clout or attention or anything like that?
If it is, fair play for trying, but you look like a fucking bellend.
Yeah, man. Like I'm bald, so all I got is my mustache and beard to work with. So it never in a million fucking years would I think of doing anything like that. It's just fucking hideous.
I'd be kicked out the house if I had a fucking beard shaped like a ball sack. Telling me I'm not allowed to shave and just leave a moustache like Hangman's. I'm fucked. So, is Jack Perry being overpushed? That's the next question from our good friend Mose.
That's a good question, Matt. Because I understand both. I understand if you think he is, and I understand if you think he's not. I'm so on the fence with him because I don't know. I really don't know how I feel about him. So I'm gonna, instead of sitting here and I'm an hour for the next 3 minutes and waffling, I'm gonna let people that probably got stronger opinions on it than me speak.
Well, it's kind of a two-part question before you carry on, because Punished Bidoof also comes on to the end of that and says, to build on this, do you think he maybe should have stayed in New Japan longer?
Yes, I think I think he should have. Yeah,
I agree. I think he should have. I don't think he's been overpushed at all. I think his matches have been great. I think he's at the right level at the moment. He's not world title level, but where he's at right now is very good for him.
I think he's on a good track. Where he's at now, and I understand the point of, like, you know, maybe should have stood in New Japan longer, but you have to remember also they also have to focus on building their own talent, their own future stars as well. I mean, as great as Jack Perry did over there in New Japan, like, you know, they also owe it to themselves to focus on their talent, their own homegrown talent. I mean, after losing so much talent over the past 2 years, you know, you can only do so much with the AEW rentals, like here and there, but you got to focus on your own homegrown talent going forward. But listen, I don't mind Jack Perry being on TV more, not just match-wise, but you hear him talk more. He's going to get over more as a personality, more than a wrestler going forward. And listen, you could see leaps and bounds. He's more comfortable on the mic, cutting a promo, showing, you know, what he is other than a great wrestler. So I like where he is right now.
Yeah, I tend to agree. For me, he's gone from, with the New Japan run and the stuff this year, he's gone from comfortably the worst pillar to, I don't know if this is controversial, but I'd say third in the ring, second on the mic. I think he's better on the mic than Darby, but I think Darby's better in ring. I think the run in Japan did what it needed to do, and now I'm quite happy with the amount he's pushed at the minute. I'm a Jack Perry guy. I'm a scapegoat. What can I say?
I like that he's trying new things, though. Like, I mean, you know, he's into his whole stunt stuff, isn't he, on the side? Like, so stuff like him setting himself on fire and stuff like that. You know, he's trying to stand out. He's trying to make the most of his time. He's trying to give us big moments that'll give him a bit of a boost in that. So, fair play to him. And I still think at some point, I don't know why I want this, but I want David Arquette to come in and just have a one-off appearance with him, and if he beats the shit out of him or if he helps him, seeing as he's like his fucking godfather or something, just, I don't know, I think it'd be cool. But that's just me having a bit of nostalgia to David Arquette. And he can go David Arquette, as we said earlier, but whatever.
I'll tell you what, though, when we get that reunion in the future with Jungle Boy and Luchasaurus, Jurassic Express, and that pop, that's gonna be pop of the year candidate right there.
Oh man, if we get that music back in the future as well, fucking hell.
That was so fucking fun to do live, man.
It was brilliant.
Yeah.
Can we finish off on something that I did on purpose today, just out of curiosity? We can cut this out if needs be. But just before we started recording, I sent a tweet out just because I thought it'd be amusing to see what kind of replies I got. So the tweet was, the difference between tribalistic WWE and AEW fans is pretty simple. AEW troll accounts take the piss out of WWE's lack of wrestling and their shows and the dumbed down promo style. WWE trolls want AEW to die and hundreds of people to be unemployed. And it's probably got the kind of responses that you could imagine. I'm just having a little look through it now. It's really made some people angry.
How dare you talk about my WWE?
Give us some examples.
I'm just going through. Sorry, I'm just fascinated by. Have you read some of the AEW troll accounts? They are by far the worst. Credit to accounts like Netbeards and Triple H, though, thoughts for actually being consistently funny and clever with their tweets.
Look, at the end of the day, you got fucking that fucking cunt Jobber Nation there trying to fucking have a promo battle with fucking Ricochet. Like, it's just fucking pathetic. Like, he should be locked up. That's fucking asylum level stuff, that.
Oh, this one's quite a good one. Don't give me that. AEW fans were calling and hoping for WWE to close for years. They weren't. Now that AEW is on the brink, they're not. Now you're crying. We're not.
Mate, they're still saying this when we all know that a fucking new deal has been signed. They still think that any day now they're going out of business. What fucking drug are you on to still believe this?
There's a new deal signed. They've got a fucking Australia stadium show coming up. They've got a fucking stadium show in Texas coming up. We assume that there's going to be a stadium show for Forbidden Door. It might just be an arena, but whatever. It's another one. They're going to have another tour. And it's come out that they're having negotiations over a fucking show on Fox. Like, what the fuck planet are these fucking cunts on?
A planet where there's no women or grass.
Probably the best place for them, to be honest, mate. Leave them there.
Yeah, leave the ladies alone, man. Stay away.
Blow up the escape pods. Leave the cunts there.
And thanks for joining us on this week's episode of the Groupchat Wrestling Podcast. Thanks for giving us your time. Hope you enjoyed it. Keep your eye out next week. We've got some special guests on the podcast. It's the hosts of Waffly Bollocks. If you're a fan of them, make sure you're there next week. And have a good week. And remember, let people have their joy. It's just wrestling.
Peace.
Bye, guys.
Bye, guys.